vertexpistons.com. Bringing you our first guest of the night. This man is the defending 450 motocross champion. He's a friend of the show, too. It's Zach Osborne. What's up, Zacho?
Chilling. What about you?
Just doing a little motocross preview. Lots of talk about the motocross series coming in, and you're at the front and center of it, bud.
Uh-oh.
How's it going to feel lining up at Paula with number one on your bike? Look, you got it last year. You got the plate last year, blah, blah, blah. It's a fake plate with number one, all that kind of stuff. This one's for real. You're racing with number one.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Obviously, I've been riding with it a little bit at home, and it never sort of sinks in
right.
when you walk in the shop every day and it's there. So it's pretty unbelievable.
You know what I don't get is like, so you know what I don't get is like, so I'm at Yamaha. Chad wins the title. He's like, no, I want to run 22.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, are you crazy? I told him.
Now you have to, but
yeah,
man, no way. Like, no way I'm passing it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, I used to be like, Chad, this number one plate is every racer in the world wants.
I guarantee you with the choice, Anderson runs 21 in 19. If he was given the choice, I bet he would have gone all back to 21.
Maybe. I'm with you, though. You got to run number one. It looks so badass on a jersey, on a bike, and all of that.
How about, hey, maybe, Zach, have you been riding around here a little bit? I've heard Cooper and Nichols have both been running their red plates, just practicing. Have you seen them out there?
I haven't ridden here, but I did hear something about that the other day. I had to do a photo shoot the other day, and my practice mechanic, he was like, this bike, it's got red plates on it. Freaking out about it. I'm like, dude, chill. Like, it's one day. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Right, yeah. I don't know.
I just think it's funny those 250 Supercross dudes are just running the red, prepping for out at Paula. Yeah. Red plates.
Yeah, that's a bit bold.
It's very bold.
It's very bold. Zach Osborne on shore, brought to you by vertexpistons.com. Wacko Zacho, how's your backo?
It's good, actually. I've had, about 5 weeks now where it's been pretty solid, and, I've been able to kind of grind it in a little bit. So I'm looking forward to the season, and we have press day tomorrow on a Tuesday. I don't know really why that is. So I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of riding and, just getting out there and getting things rolling. Really, it's been a really long time since I raced, and it's been a hard little period of recovery. And, I'm just looking forward to finally getting going again.
702-586-7857. You got a question for the defending 450 motocross champion, Zach Osborne. Give us a call. Brought to you by Vertex Pistons. Yeah, it's definitely something that, kind of sucks for you because it's going to take like a lot of work for you to kind of maintain this injury, but you feel like you can control this thing and all summer and do exactly what you want to be as good as you can be.
Yeah, I do. If I didn't, I would have probably gotten the surgery a couple months ago.
Okay.
But it's a manageable situation, and it's something I believe, barring something unforeseen. Yeah, I believe I can sustain it and ride at a good level and be there again.
What'd you do for your bike this year? Did you do much changing? Because I was just talking to I don't know who I was talking to. Oh, I was talking to AC. And I asked him about his bike. He's like, yeah, it's pretty different. And I said, yeah, just text me when you put on last year's settings, whether it's round 2, round 3, like just text me because you got second in the series. He had some amazing races where he whooped up on everybody. And then he tells me about how radically better his bike is, which, as you know, Zacho, I'm not on that train. But what about you?
Well, I did go to a softer fork about 3 weeks ago, just slightly softer. Mainly for a little bit more comfort on these California hard pack tracks. Not really for when it's wet and loamy, but I called Scuba, the crew chief, earlier, and I was like, hey, just covering my bases here. Make sure you have my last year's fork there tomorrow, so in case you need to go back to it. So we could be right back at base by noon tomorrow.
That's what I predict, Daniel.
Back to the old faithful.
Back to the
Zach, I don't remember when this year. I talked to you about that at some point, and you said you like to keep things very similar, right? You don't like to make dramatic changes if it's working. Did I remember that correctly?
I mean, yeah, coming off a season like I had last year, things do get better, but at the same time, we're never at quite, end of summer speed when we're testing at this period of the year. And I just feel like it's easier to build into the bike that I had last season than start over with something new or just something that I'm unfamiliar with. I have hundreds of hours on that setting, and it's something I'm really familiar with and I know really well. So to me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to really go away from that to start a season.
I feel like it's so weird because you talk about the hundreds of hours, but we're talking about race hours. You race your bike all summer. By the end, you feel pretty good about it. Then you go into an off season, riders do, and they make all these crazy changes. Then they go to the first round and they're all pissed off. It's like, do you not realize that all the changes and testing that you did was not on a racetrack? You can make anything feel dramatically rad and new. I don't know why you would ever start a season.
There's nothing like race pace,
or even the racetracks the way they develop.
Like single lap pace is just not race pace, And I just feel like, especially with the seasons where I've done this, I started kind of where I left off. It's just really been a lot less bike chasing and a lot more able to focus on me. And there's just not, to me, there's just not a lot of reason to really go away from something that's great to start with. And also, I mean, it's kind of, I think sometimes the suspension and chassis guys get a little bit not offended, but why aren't we testing or whatever? I'm like, dude, this is a credit to what you've already done. Just
I won the title on this bike.
Happy for 3 years now. Like, he hasn't made a change. So
I talked to a very important team guy last week, and he was telling me, and it's a team with a very, very elite rider. He was telling me, like, look, if the guy comes in and he's not happy, and we know it's not the bike, we still tell him we think it's the bike and we'll get it better. And I'm like, why would you do that? He's like, because we don't want these guys to have any lack of confidence in themselves. We don't want this guy to at all have a single doubt, in his armor that he's not the baddest dude in the world and it's our fault. And I'm like, that seems insane to me, because as a guy that's been on many teams, I feel like you're like, look, dude, you're not riding the way you want to. Calm down. We'll work on the track. This bike can win. You've won on this bike before, like blah, blah, blah. That would be my tact as a manager. This manager was
more comfortable with that, like taking it on my shoulders than like throwing something at the bike that I don't know or don't have that many hours on, or I'm just not sure that direction. I would rather just kind of shoulder it myself and kind of just take the horse by the reins, I guess you would say. And with a situation like this, I know that that's doable, whereas otherwise I may be chasing a little bit, or I start to use that as a crutch or an excuse.
I didn't quite get this manager's theory on that, but I mean, I got it, but I didn't agree with it. It
depends on the rider, too. I guess, Plessinger told me this year that when he tells him the bike's soft, they just do the opposite of whatever he says, and it's always better. So it just depends on the rider. He literally like, it's doing this, and they do the opposite of what he says, and it's better every time.
But AP will admit he's a terrible tester.
That's what he said.
He's a terrible tester.
He said, and I told him, I said, why don't you just go and like tell him the opposite of what you're feeling? He's like, no, it's working if I just tell them what I think and they think I'm wrong.
I had a guy that used to work there in the chassis side of things and tell me that he's never seen a rider as bad at testing as Aaron Plessinger. Awesome guy. He says he's a great kid. He says he cannot believe how terrible he is with what the bike is doing underneath him.
It's awesome, I think, because it simplifies probably the biggest problem, Zach. I'm sure you'll agree. If you get in the habit of always tinkering and then, that works, then the next day it doesn't, you get in this habit of always trying to find something that satisfies you for like a minute. And now it's just a circle you live in forever. And I'm with you, Zach, all the way. Yeah. If it works and you know you can race on it, don't stray. Like, make adjustments. You're talented enough to adjust yourself.
But don't you feel like we're talking? Don't you feel, Daniel, we're talking to maybe the most normal rider?
Yes, he is. That's why I love Zach, because he's just not a knucklehead about these things. And they're always like, the bike, I wasn't feeling it was off. And it's like, you just kicked everyone's ass on the same bike in your heat race, but now in the main event, all of a sudden it don't work.
Zach's a little OCD. Zach's a little OCD for sure, but other than that, he's
on other things though, right? On other things though.
Yeah, on other things. He's pretty normal.
Zach, you still get pukey before the races? Is that still a thing?
No, I haven't done that in a while.
Okay,
man. Like all of outdoors last year, all of Salt Lake last year, prior to Salt Lake. Yeah, we're still in that stage, but now I'm sure a little bit.
I knew you had a little nausea issues before
but
that.
Rear its ugly head at any time, so
yeah.
Watch your feet.
Zach, I haven't heard you. I haven't heard much about you as far as next year goes. I'm assuming you re-signed with the Rockstar Husky guys. Can we break that news now?
Yeah, it's been done for quite some time.
Right. So 2 years.
1 year.
Oh, okay. Is that something you wanted or they wanted or?
Yeah, we kind of agreed we'll go 1 year at a time from here on out.
Right.
And just see where we're at.
And slide into the Dakar team right after that?
I was going to say, he ain't
I
done.
don't know.
He'll be negotiating terms to his deal for the next year, making sure he gets to do those things.
GNCC, dude, do not do the Dakar stuff. Shorty is absolutely out of his mind.
I will say, like, actually, when Shorty and I did the podcast, I always ask him a million questions. He's probably like, man, this guy is annoying, but I get a sense of almost him discouraging me from it because it is that gnarly, and it's hard to learn something that different. You know, people are like, oh, it's just like sending it across the desert with a GPS, and I'm like, that is the farthest thing from the truth. Like, that's not even close. So, I don't know. It was a dream at one point. Maybe it's like dwindling a little bit or a lot of it, but I do want to do some rally. I was actually talking to Ricky Brabeck about the Sonora rally the other day because it seems super mellow, kind of safe in air quotes, if you will. And I was like, hey, dude, like, is this a good rally, like, where I could go and kind of get my feet wet and see what it's like? And he was like, yeah, this is the perfect one because assistance is always close. If your bike breaks, you can restart the next day, blah, blah, blah. So maybe we'll start there and go
see how that goes.
See what happens.
Right. John, you got a question for Zacho?
Yeah. So Zach, John with W here. You know, with all the talk about, you know, maybe riders moving around, namely Jason, and not asking you to confirm or deny that. Going into next year, if the team is just 2 riders, you and say Dean, does that change anything for you as far as more pressure, more what you feel, to lead the charge for Husqvarna next year, or what do you think?
It doesn't at all. I mean, I kind of feel that responsibility now. I'm the old guy on the team, obviously, and I just kind of feel like that's my responsibility. That's where I'm at in my career, and to be a leader. So for me, it doesn't really matter if it's 2 or 3 or who it is. I think it's just part of the deal.
Yep.
To be a good team player and to be part of the team is something that I enjoy. Getting to know people and just kind of bounce ideas off of people. And I think as a fan of the sport, I think it's really cool to see some big moves potentially and what's going on. We haven't had any sort of moves like that since, I guess, like Kenny, but Kenny was on RCH, so the Honda thing made sense, and then maybe Coop, but at that time Coop wasn't really crushing it. So
it was,
to have guys like this making moves like that is, pretty crazy.
Did you shop around, or they come to you and or you go to them? And like, I feel like, you've never been hotter as far as when you were doing your deal. So did you come close to leaving or talk to anybody else?
No, I did talk to some other people, but was never really close to leaving. Right. We finished the deal, most of the deal in Dallas, so that was pretty early,
right?
Before the rest of the stuff came out. But I didn't really have any intentions of leaving. I mean, I love where I'm at. I enjoy the team I'm on, and I think it only makes sense for me to kind of finish things up there over the next couple of years, and we've talked about kind of things afterwards. So it just really made sense for me to stay.
You go ahead, John.
Yeah, and one more thing, Zach. So last time I was in, it was right as you were preparing for the donations last year. So obviously you haven't even started the outdoors right now. You're coming off an injury. I mean, is that something that you consider, you think about, see how you feel, how the year goes, if we're going to have a team, and if we do, are you on board if you're, chosen?
Yeah, for sure. I'm on board if I'm chosen. And there's actually a couple of GPs that I would really like to do.
Oh wow!
Around the nation.
Here we go. So, Jack Osborne racing GPs. Everybody after the last round.
Confirmed.
No,
Confirmed.
I would enjoy it though. Like if I can get the ball rolling here on the outdoors and get picked for the team, I would love to do a couple GPs. Like every other time, it's never really lined up. I think when we went to Assen, they were in China or something, and but this year they have the. I think it's Riola Sardo, which is in Sardinia, before the Nations, and then after there's Push and Tall, and then the French GP, but I don't know quite where it's going to be. So maybe those 3 if I get picked. But, I've missed some racing this year, so I'd enjoy to kind of make up some racing and go there and ride. So we'll see.
Steve, if he does do some GPs, does he stay in a tent?
Yeah,
or
I
is
think he
life
gets a
better?
Old times.
Yeah, or just for that feel, or are things better these days? Like maybe a hotel?
I think
Holiday Inn Express?
Zach's over that tent story. I'm not. I'll never be over it.
I just think it's funny to bring up
because it is
story. Because it's freaking funny.
Right.
Why? But
which round am I staying in the motorhome, Zacho, this summer?
Any one. Just pick one. The kids aren't coming to any races.
Really?
Yeah, because the flying and everything with the masks and whatnot.
Yep.
So yeah, just pick one.
This would be great.
I think Steve would probably like to stay with you the whole time.
AC's got one now too. AC bought one, so I could kind of go.
You're gonna cheat on Zach and go over to AC.
Yeah,
float around a little.
I think if I
track snack.
What a track snack. Skis balls.
No, I think if I stay with, I think I wore out my welcome, so I got to leave soon. With these guys. But so yeah, I might just end up doing that.
Depends on the results of the rider.
Right.
Like if you stay with Zach and he wins, you'll be like, Steve, where are you staying next weekend?
Right. Yeah.
Who would have ever thought Steve as being a track snack?
I mean, for real. I'm a good looking one. Zachos.
Don't eat that dick.
So 2 Lorettas last year. 2 Red Buds. We all know your championship has an asterisk on it. But anyways, moving on.
Oh, my God.
I'm joking. I'm kidding. What are you looking forward to this summer with 12 rounds? Like, is there a race you're looking forward to that we didn't get to last year? Like, what are you most looking forward to this summer?
Southwick, probably.
Yeah.
I'm most bummed about WW.
Yeah.
I love that track, and just the conditions really suit me.
Dude, that was a good ride by you last year. Oh, my God. WW was really good for you. Jesus.
Red Bud one was better, but I know you.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
But I'm actually bummed that we're not going back to Loretta's. Like, that place raced so good for us, and I just really thought that after the success that they had with it, it would kind of become a staple. But I'm definitely looking forward to Southwick. Let's see, what else?
How about Hangtown being the last one?
I'm all in on Hangtown. You can ask Steve. We have this argument every now and then in our text group where JT's like, he's on the Bradshaw page, which was
put a close sign on it.
Or whatever.
Yeah, no, they asked Bradshaw back in the day. True story. One of the dirt diggers who owns the place or works there said at the test session, "What can we do to improve this place, Damon?" He said, "Put a close sign on it." And the guy's face, I guess, was just like. So anyway,
it's just. I mean, I was there yesterday. I was out at Prairie City, and it is by far, at least visually for me, it looks like the most obnoxious track for you guys to ride. You just don't get it going. You're constantly fighting, and I'm thinking that's a good first round, kind of get it out of the way. But to go through a whole title and then have to end there, I feel like that's going to be a tough one to end.
Zach goes in.
It's going to be hot there
like
that type of year.
And it's going to be hot as crap. Yeah, that's one thing is like September up there is gnarly. So
yeah, and there's no rain at that. I mean, because that one gets rain every once in a while when it's early. It does not rain in September, so you're clear there.
Yeah, the last time we were there, it was a full-on mutter in 19.
Yeah.
And my first race there in 06 was a mutter too.
Last time we were there was a full mutter? Was I there?
19,
yeah.
I don't remember that at
19,
all.
the second moto
Kenny,
at Ford.
did Kenny win?
Ford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kenny won.
Yep.
I don't remember. I was there, but I do not remember this.
I don't remember who got second.
I am also looking forward to Southwick. I think that place is like the Fenway Park. Zach doesn't know what I'm talking about, but it's a Fenway Park of moto. It's small. It's in the side of a town. It's historic.
You mean the Wrigley Field?
Or Wrigley Field, either one.
Yeah.
It's Wrigley Field, Osborne, because we talked about this. It's historic. It's right in the middle of a town. The greats of the first one was 76 or something at Southwick, whatever it was. Like, I love that history of that place, Southwick, and Keith Johnson.
Yeah,
and everybody's got it going.
Too. I'm pumped to go to Unadilla. Like dude, you got to have Unadilla on the schedule, right?
No, not for me. No, Unadilla can.
Really?
Yeah, Unadilla can burn down. I don't care.
What?
Yeah, I feel like. Okay, it's not the grass. The grass used to be like in the radiators when the guys used to head out there. That's what made it so special.
Yeah,
the loamy dirt. That
agree.
dirt is gone. That dirt is hammered now. So
I wish they would just leave it grass one year. Like, just let it be grass.
I'm with you. They really should. But I'm looking forward to Southwick too. That's the right answer for that. Zacho brought to you by Vertex Pistons. Please check it out. Sales@pivotworks.com for more information on that. 2-stroke pistons,
I just
4-stroke
got a
pistons.
300 2-stroke. I might need a piston.
Oh, let me know. I'll dial you in. It's got a Vertex piston in it already, though, from the factory.
Okay, then I already have a Vertex piston.
What are you going to do with that thing?
So, ride in the woods, dude. Croom.
Great. Awesome.
Zach's so core.
Right. He is.
I actually got a supermoto as well. That's something I'm looking forward to trying.
And you get these for free, right? These bikes from Husky?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay,
I mean, they're demos, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad.
He doesn't get the title.
Right.
Hey, Zach, has Caleb started to ride again, and is he training with you down there in Florida, or?
He's not training with us. I'm not sure if he's riding again. I think he is. I had talked to him maybe 2 weeks ago, and he was like, I was like, hey, when are you going to ride again? And he was like, man, if I can get my helmet on, he said, I'm going to ride this corner track tomorrow. So
that deal's
I heard
done.
his crash was bad. Like lucky.
I mean,
yeah.
Just knowing like that section and that jump and how far it is from that jump to the fence and how high that jump is.
Yep.
He had to be so high in the air
to
get to where he got, crazy.
All right, so MXGP's kicking off soon. I think I'm going to Sweden, by the way, Zacho. I'm going to go to Sweden.
Good GP.
The GP, yep. So is Hurlings, if Hurlings doesn't crash, does anybody just beat him in this title?
Oh.
Like Ken Gumby Geyser actually just beat him?
I actually think sometimes, yeah. I mean,
okay.
To me, that's a 50-50, or a 40-40, and then you've got Cairoli at 10, and then like the rest.
Sewer or Fabra, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I watched obviously the British over the weekend.
Yeah.
Like Watson was good, but I mean that track kind of. I wouldn't say it really favors Jeffrey, but it's not out of his wheelhouse for sure. You know, it's quite sandy. And for him to get beat there, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, who beat him?
Ben Watson.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But there was an issue. Something happened with his chain or something, and he had to stop. So
he had a rock in his rear brake.
Oh, rear brake. Okay.
That's what my Hurling super fans have told me. I didn't. I just got the report from.
I think it was chain.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean.
But you think there's a way Geyser can just beat him for the title? Like head to head, if they do all the races, Gumby can beat him.
Ooh, like no one has any injuries, and they just go head to head.
Right.
I would say it's still 40-40.
Okay, all right, okay. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that goes.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I also, Sewer on Instagram looks unreal right now.
Does he? I don't think I follow.
Big fan of him because he's super short like me, and
right.
I like him too.
Sketchy like that.
Blair likes him too.
I didn't know anything about him, but I'm all in.
Yeah. And also, like, it's cool to see because when I was there, very first got there, he was maybe 14 or 15, riding Suzuki 125, which is like, against those factory KTMs there.
Right.
Was. And he was barely qualifying. Sometimes didn't qualify for the 125 European 125. So, like to see the progression and everything that he's made is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, and then I like how too Febvre can just come out of nowhere and win once in a while. Febvre if he's on fire, Febvre can do it, and you're like, wait, what?
Is that a track thing? Certain guys on certain tracks just have that extra.
I think he's going to be really good in Russia. I have a feeling. Like, it's ultra hard pack. He's French. That's kind of their wheelhouse. And I think he may be like I believe he'll be on the podium. Maybe he can win there.
Oh, well, we'll have to see. What about Phil? You've absolutely destroyed Phil's confidence.
You almost made him quit, right?
You almost made him quit.
Why?
Because you beat him bad at club. Like, this is all the stuff. This is all the reports I'm getting. So if he has a shitty start to the Nationals, I kind of blame you, Zacho, because you just destroyed him practicing at club.
What?
Yes.
I don't recall this, but yeah, I guess.
That's what my sources tell me out there. I mean,
maybe Phil could drive his motorhome if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
That might not go over well, but
you're right.
Why not?
What do you think, Zacho? Where's Phil at? Is Phil top 10?
I think so. I mean, geez, the dude can start, so that's half the battle, right?
But listen to this, Zacho. Listen to this. You got Tomac, Marv, Kenny, Webb.
Don't do this to
AC,
Zach. You're going to get him all nauseous.
Sexton. No.
We got 5 days before.
Anderson,
don't give him the list.
Barsha, Ferrandis, Craig, and Plessinger. That's 12 guys. Those guys are all faster than Phil, Zacho. They are all faster than Phil.
It doesn't matter. They can't. Not all of them can outstart him, and that's a lot of it.
Because he told me if he's not top 10, he's quitting. He said he's quitting.
God bless.
So
top 10 overall, like in the points, or
I think he just means around the top 10. He's quitting. Yeah.
Oh no, he'll be around the top 10 for sure.
Hey, even with that big list, who's running the big fat number 1? Right, Zach?
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
It's me.
Yeah, well,
wasn't given to you. So
listen, I had a number 1 on my bike too as a mechanic at the 4-stroke nationals, East Coast 4-stroke nationals. So I know the pressure.
Was Zach Bourne then?
Wait, with who?
Kelly Smith.
Yeah, I raced those on a 50.
Zach was there. Listen, I've told this story a bunch. When I was at KTM, everyone at KTM was telling me about this kid, drag racer's kid. Yeah. He's coming. He's going to save the factory. He's our guy. Like Zach Osborne, everyone was waiting for Zach Osborne when I was at KTM. And it was the biggest deal ever until Zach turned pro. Because, Zach, I don't know when you started on KTM, like with the guy Al there.
98.
Right. So they were waiting for you, Zacho.
Well, it all came to fruition a lot later and kind of a different brand, but we got there eventually.
Right, but I remember Alan Brown was like, this kid is so fast, and blah, blah, and I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. I'm Kelly Smith.
Wait, who were you there with at the 4-stroke nationals, number 1?
Kelly Smith.
What year was that, 97 or 98?
No, 2000 and 2001.
Oh, wow. I don't even know. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, sure. I know you were there because
Walters being number 1.
Who's the guy?
There you go.
Who's the guy who helped you?
Al.
I talked to Al about you around that time.
Spud Walters and then Paul Carpenter.
Oh my gosh, Spud.
So happened to both be White Brother riders.
So John was their
mechanic.
Yeah.
Well, one of them. I was Spud's.
Spud's mechanic. John was.
And Alan Olson worked there too, right?
He was Paul Carpenter's guy. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we may as well get into this right now then. Zacho. So in 2001, Spud Walters and John Anderson took their number 1 plate from the West, traveled east out to was it Boone, Kentucky?
I think so. Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone.
Yeah.
You guys. So John and Spud came out to the East Coast, thought they wanted some of Kelly Smith and Steve Mathis. The 2 number 1s battled, and Kelly Smith and Steve Mathis coming out on top of John and Spud.
Wow.
And you know what? You did. But, Zach,
yes,
get this.
I did.
But I don't recall Steve and Kelly coming to the West Coast.
Yeah,
so
where were you at Gorman or Honey Lake? You guys would have got your ass whooped at Honey Lake by Spud.
Well,
you want to play
I don't give a fuck. Listen, the Mathis Smith super team taking down John Anderson and Spud.
Yeah.
So
home turf advantage.
Home turf.
Yeah, Hey, Kelly was quadding that Daniel Boone thing, and it was a big deal. I remember people were freaking out, whatever that was.
What part?
Up by the announcer's tower. I think there was a 2-and-2 or 2. Was there a 5-pack?
The Super 6.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it would have been like quad double, probably.
Quad double. It was like people were losing their minds.
I hate to bring this full circle, but we're talking again about the riders being with their bikes and changes.
Yeah.
I would love to see all the nowadays riders go back and ride those early KTMs and see if they have any complaints. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Those things were not great.
Yeah, the PDF. Yeah.
They were not great.
No, the 520 wasn't bad, though.
Oh.
The KTM 520.
They were fast.
Yeah, they were fast.
They had no problems getting
Brownie
starts.
and I were talking the other day about, those jumps at Daniel Boone. For me, I only raced there, on 60s and a little bit on 80s.
Right.
But, dude, there was the table for 2, which was right before the Super 6.
Mm-hmm.
And, those jumps in my mind still today are, massive,
right.
huge jumps. And then I see videos of people riding there, and I'm like, no, that's not what it was like when I raced.
Zach would show up on his 450 right now and take 4 or 5 laps rolling them before he would do them.
Right.
Just from old school vibes.
But it's just how you remember it, when you're a little kid, it's crazy.
No, totally. Yeah, I think Kelly was going quad. It was whatever he was doing. It was big, and I was like, oh, shit, look at Kelly.
Kelly was fast, and he wasn't afraid to jump.
No, he wasn't. So,
sometimes that bit him in the butt.
Taking down Spud Walters.
The guy at Daniel Boone.
Who?
Ben Riddle.
Oh,
Ben
Riddle.
Riddle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Riddle was
I
good.
remember that.
Yeah. No, Riddle was really, really good rider for sure.
Yeah, he's gnarly.
Zacho, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Good luck this weekend at Paula. Get that motor home clean for me. Get it ready to go.
Yeah, let me know.
I will.
We'll buy some extra food and be ready.
And maybe I'll do a vlog that weekend about staying with Zacho.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, just imagine these parting words from Steve at the end of the weekend. Shitter's full.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See you later.
Thanks, Zacho.
You wouldn't do that to my mom, I don't think.
I wouldn't. No, your mom's a saint. She's a hell of a woman. Thanks, Zacho. Appreciate it, man.
See ya.
There's that.
Thanks. That's Zach Osborne, brought to you by VertexPistons.com. Yeah.